Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday night. I wasn't sure whether I was going to go live tonight or not because I've been busy taking care of a bunch of things and I'm wrapping up my day and ready to go to bed so that I can make it to bed on time. So I only have a couple of minutes. But I decided I really wanted to come live and just, talk just for a couple of minutes here about this, about, things being the little things. And how the little things are sometimes really the big things in our lives. And when we say yes to the little things, how much more that can grow. I know I'm sort of maybe talking confusing right now, but you'll sort of see where I'm going with this. A lot of times we focus on these big, huge, whether it's our big goals, whether it's the big picture things, and we get so focused on that we miss all the little things that are going on around us. We miss all the little details, and we're not getting the most out of everything that's going on. And this has been something that has really tapped in and become very, very apparent to me, both with my homeschooling, with my kids, with everything we've been doing really since COVID started. Because even though officially I've been homeschooling them since the beginning of the school year, I really feel like that actually started last March when schools closed. But in my 75-day challenge, now in my 9-day hustle to the hustle, and we'll be in my 66-day healthy habit hustle, it's really what I have learned from all of this is slowing down, taking a stop, and looking at the little individual pieces, because all of those little individual pieces add up to make the big whole thing. Sometimes we don't have to do all the little individual pieces. Sometimes it's the small, just a few of the small pieces that give us that bigger picture. But it's really, fascinating to watch this, because pre-COVID, we all, I don't know, maybe not you, but I know I was really engrossed in big goals. What do I want to do? The big picture, and run, constant. And COVID hit, and we were all forced to stop. And we were all forced to take a step back. And there were a lot of things that were shut off from us. But for me, it gave me an opportunity to start looking at the little pieces, start looking at what I can do with my kids, what I can do for myself, all of those really small pieces that add up to big things. And this has sort of been playing out over this whole 8 months, really how this goes. And it started back when COVID started, during the day, stopping and taking time in the middle of my busy work day, because, I work full time, and, and playing a game with my kids, building in time to come downstairs and to turn off my computer or to step away from my computer and say, I need to spend time with them. And those small pieces, those little things, to recognize that everything that's going on now, how it's impacting them. And as we're getting ready to pack up our family and go to Florida for 6 months, we're really, really excited. But we can't forget that's the big picture thing. And there's all this stuff, but it's the little pieces. And for me, it's also, been really important to remember as I'm watching my kids that as excited as they are, as excited as we all are, I have one kid in particular who doesn't do well when change happens. Even if it's a good, exciting change, ducks aren't in a row. We've talked about this a lot. She's come live with me talking about this. And it tenses her up, and it starts to not be good. And we can see this. We can see some of those behavioral things. And so it's stopping and saying, okay, this is what's going on. Let's pull it back to the little things. Let's stop and play a game. Let's keep things as normal as we possibly can. Let's move forward. My 9-day hustle to the hustle, my 75-day, which I still have my chart here, and this chart is sticking with me because I have to say I'm stinking proud of this chart. Where is it? Under here. This chart, my charts here, these are the little things. These are the little pieces day by day by day, that if I do these little pieces every single day, or most of them, even if I don't hit them perfectly every day, progress, not perfection. And that's, a lot about what I focus on, progress, not perfection. If I start focusing on these little things, all together, they create the big things. They create the bigger goal that I have. So I've actually had people say to me, they're like, you've got so much on your plate. You're homeschooling your kids, you're coaching all these clients, you're getting ready to, to transport everybody down to Florida. How are you handling it? How are you doing it? And the truth is, one small piece at a time. My personal health goals, right here. I check them off. You see, they're all checked off. I check them off every day, one small piece at a time. Same things. Work, in my calendar. I build things in my calendar. I know, what I have to do and look at, okay, what are the small pieces that are going to make the big pieces? And what are the things that don't need to get done or aren't so important right now or doesn't matter if it doesn't happen? And taking a step back, when I'm looking at homeschooling my kids, I have to look at what's important. Can I totally stress myself out and be, oh my gosh, it could be a full-time job to homeschool them? And all this thing, and I'll tell you, I have all this curriculum stuff that's here because I get really excited about it. I love learning and my kids love learning. So I keep seeing all this stuff and I keep ordering more and more stuff. And it's way too much for them, too much for me. It's not good for anybody. So I had to take a step back and say, okay, whoa, what is important here? Where are we going to start? Here are the things that are important. And we get in those things that are important. They do math every day. They do reading every day. They do writing every day. But then you know what they do? They do things that they love to learn about because that's what this is. That's what this is, an amazing opportunity for them, is to be able to go in and say, this is what I love to learn about. Emma really wants to, is really into Disney Imagineering. So she did Imagineering in a box and now she's doing Pixar in a box and she's really excited about that. And Elliot loves his coding. So he's been taking a coding class and he really, really wants to learn stop motion filmmaking. So we found him something on OutSchool where he can learn how to do that. Where, all these different things that's going to expand what they love, because that's where they're going to love. That's where they're going to grow. That's how all those pieces are going to come together. One small piece at a time. And when we do things one small piece and focus on each of those small pieces, that's where the big picture comes in. Whether we're talking health and wellness, whether we're talking education, whether we're talking building a business, whatever it is, it's the same thing. Small pieces, all those small pieces add up to the big picture. And you don't have to hit all those small pieces every single day. If you hit those small pieces 80% of the time, I'm telling you, you're going to soar. You're going to grow so much in whatever it is in your life that you want to grow on. If you focus on perfection in everything, I don't know, maybe you can focus on perfection. I can't focus on perfection. If I focus on perfection, I stumble. I can do that for a little while because that's based on willpower, but life doesn't go on willpower. It's a lot of what I talk about with my clients. There's 3 powers that I talk about: willpower, thrill power, and then skill power. And that's what this does. That's what things like this, it's building in your skill power, building those skills, starting with willpower. And then the thrill power comes in, and then you've built those skills. It's all the same thing. And it's the same things that I'm teaching my kids with homeschooling. It all ties in. These lessons go across the board into everything. So it really has been, jumping out at me a lot today about this idea of breaking it down to the small things. I had to take Elliot to get his eyes checked. We go to Costco and we ordered, we went and got his new prescription and ordered him glasses, and we had to do some shopping. And you saw the pictures of the giant Mickey that he found. And so, of course, he got a Mickey, and we got a Mickey and then I messaged the girls and said, who would you prefer, Mickey or Minnie? They had no idea what I was talking about. And so they each picked. But, normally I wouldn't buy an impulse buy something like that. But he really wanted it. And he was like, the joy in his eyes. This child has not been into a store in 8 months. This is the first time he was like amazed that I let him go into Costco. He had to go in to get his eyes checked, but he hasn't been in a store in 8 months. And he came alive when he saw this Mickey. To me, the little thing that brought the joy, and brought the joy to the 3 of them. How we're going to get them with us to Florida, because they're life size pretty much. I don't know, but sometimes we just have to do those little things, because all of the little things add up to the big things, add up to the big joy. So just remember that as you plow forward and you're looking at your huge goals, because we all have huge goals, break them down into small, bite-sized pieces, one piece at a time, and that's how you're going to reach your big goals. I hope you have a great night. And I'm getting really excited about the 66-day Healthy Habit Hustle. It officially, if you're already a client, if you're in our client group, it launches tomorrow morning. You can sign up for it. If you're not and you're interested in learning more about it, or whether you qualify for it, reach out, because this is going to be amazing for people who want to create new healthy habits, one small piece at a time over the next 66 days. So Well, have a great night, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye.